Alright guys, welcome to 4-3 labs, practice labs, IPv4 and 6 access list. Gives you a brief description is how to do the allow and deny. The way the practice labs has it on their diagram is the way you see it right here. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I'm not gonna be connecting. I don't have everything set up. I don't have the IP addresses and everything. I'm just gonna do a little brief on how you guys end up doing the stuff on the console. I am gaining a little bit of overage on the memory on my CMI controller. I do have a lot of them on. So what I'm gonna do is, since I won't be able to use this server for now, I'm gonna stop that server. I'm gonna go ahead and stop these as well. The way they want me to do this is through, let me look at the, I'm gonna pretty much end up using alright, yeah. So I'm gonna end up just pretty much using these right here. I'm not gonna need these. I'm not gonna need the server. Desktop, I might end up using the desktop to see if it allows me to do the things I need to do. So my VM status are looking good for this project. Okay, let's get started, guys. So for the practice lab, they want you to go into the edge and the edge one would be this one right here. Okay, and what they want you to do first is configure the access list 1 permit. See, I'm still getting high voltages. Let me see. I'm still configuring. What are you guys doing to me? Oh my goodness. So how's this one going? Alright. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into configuration. It is already enabled. And then I'm gonna go to configure terminal. Okay, so I'm already in configuration. I'm gonna do access list 1 permit is what they want you to do first. Okay, so this is what you're gonna get: host name or ABCD, address to match any source host, and then host is SNMU host address. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to access list one permit to 192.168.16.0 with 0.0.0 dash, I mean dot, my bad, 255, unrecognized command, access list one permit. So since I don't have the IP addresses and everything like that, it should give you a log match against this entry, or smart log matches against this entry. Okay. Let me see where I'm at. Okay. Let me do this again. I think I know where I messed up. There you go. Log matches against this entry, of course, CR. And that is what you want to see. And then on the next step, you want you to do configure, of course, terminal. And then access list 10, deny host 192.168.16.10, exit, and then they want you to do a show access list, and it gives you the permit and then the deny. Okay, and then with the wildcard bits of 0.0.0.255, which I did earlier on the permit. And then they want you to do a configure terminal access list 10 permit any. Okay. So what it's pretty much doing is you're denying and you're permitting certain statements of what you want allowed to go in to your computer system. If you have multiple, like for example, you have your financials, you have your IT, you have your administration, you have certain departments. they're all going to the same server, but you don't want them to talk to each other in a sense that you can go ahead and hack into their system. So you're denying certain routers and certain IP addresses to go into certain areas of your business. So there's no hacking involved, or there's no, it's pretty much more like a you're not allowed to do this and allowed to do that kind of a deal. So that's what these access and denies are. And then gigabyte, let's see. So what do I have here? I think I have the 1-1. Registry 1. Okay, so here is where you do the Ethernet wanting to deny and access certain IP address or groups, pretty much, should I say groups. So there's certain groups that are not allowed to go into that area. So the groups, you're denying them. For example, you don't want your financials able to go into your IT department. So you're cutting certain IP addresses going through that. And what they tell you to do for the next step, which I'm not going to do it, is they want you to ping the server that's way out there by its own, which considers to be practice labs. But since I don't have everything set up, and you're supposed to get a deny on that ping. And to make sure that it actually worked, on your permit or deny, if it denied it or it permitted it, you're supposed to get a matches. It says 4 matches. So if you were permitted to get into that console, you would have had 4 matches. If you're denied, it would have said denied for matches, depending on what you're allowing and denying. And then what you can also do is configure terminal interface G1 no IP access group 10 out. And you guys get the idea what it's doing. and then interface G0. Okay, I don't have a G0. I'm gonna say G2 for the sake of this. And then I'm gonna do IP access group 10 in. So you're pretty much setting what goes in and out, and what Ethernet or VLAN you're using to go in and out and all that stuff. And of course, to prove that you are right, you can go ahead and ping the system. Which I am not going to do because I don't have everything set up yet on all IP addresses and stuff like that. It was just a quick demo that I was trying to do for you guys. And to verify everything, on here you would get the same thing, deny or accept. And usually for this practice lab, you have gotten 8 matches for the deny and 1 match for the standard IP access list NAT. And then what they want you to do next is configure terminal, enter face J0, G1, and then they want to do no IP access group 10 in. And you guys get the gist of it. Now, to create an extensive access list in IPv4, you will need to create an extended access list. The benefit of access lists can be much more better than the permit and deny. And what you would do is you would do the permits of FTP and ICMP. And to do that, configure terminal, access list 110 permit TCP host 192.168.16.10 any EQ FTP. Okay, and then access list 110 permit TCP host 192.168.16.10, and then you put any EQ FTP data. And you guys get the shift of what you know, H FT, FTP and data and all that stuff is, you know. But now with all the reading and everything that you guys been doing, you know, you guys have an idea. And if you guys don't, you can always Google it, and Google will give you a general idea of what I'm talking about. And then what I want you to do next is access list 110 deny ICMP host 192.168.16.10 incomplete thing. Okay, yes, host and this one is just 1610. Okay, and then it's 172.15.0.10. Okay, and that's all you're doing is denying the ICMP and allowing the FTP protocol to go in. So here, if you did it right, when you do the show access list 110, it gives you the, you know, the permit, and then the denial of ICMP, and then of course the permit of 10 and 20, the TCP, and then what the host, and then what you want to deny on which host, and so on and so on. So I hope you guys are getting the idea of what these what we're doing here on this practice lab. And all it is just allowing and denying certain computers to talk to each other, and what they can do on what channel they can do it on. And that's pretty much it on this practice lab, is what they're trying to teach you. So that's kind of like what they're trying to, like I said, is what they're trying to teach you. You can also configure on the name access list as well. And it's pretty much the same thing. For example, if you want to do IP access list extended permit FTP, and then permit host 192.168 dot 16.10 host 172.168.0.10 your EQ FTP, and then deny host 192.168.16.10 any exit. If you notice, it was fictitious of what I did with the other one. The only thing that actually changes is your configuration right here. Okay, you're going through a different configuration mode, which gives you the name, configuring in the named access list. You're still given the, what it says here is one of the major differences between numbers and named access list is the named access list brings you into an access list configuration mode where you can input all of your configuration parameters. This is noted by the command configure /ext/nacl. That is what distinguishes how you are doing it through numbers and names. So I'm not gonna go through the whole detail on the other stuff because it's fictitious, but it's all you're doing is just doing the name and everything is pretty much putting the same configurations and all these other stuff. It's just repetitious. It just wants you to understand what you're doing. It just does. It's, and then for you to know if you're doing everything right. You have to do the show access list to see if your configurations are doing what you want them to do, and then you ping it, and if your ping comes positive, it's because you have it in your access list. If it denies it, it's because you have it in your deny list. And if that's what you want to do with it, and then you have no problems. You're doing everything right the way you want it to do. There is one other thing that I want to show you and see if it lets me do it, which is the show run interface. G1. So current configuration 107 bytes, interface gigabyte Ethernet 1, no IP address, of course, because I don't have an IP address on it. Shutdown, negotiation auto, no mop, enable, no mop, everything. On the practice labs, if you're doing everything correctly, it should give you the IP address of 192.168.16.1 with 255.255.255.0 with an IP address group permit with FTPN, IP NAT inside, IP virtual reassembly and duplex mode, and auto mode. Okay, so that is the difference when you have all your IP addresses connected and going, and you want to kind of show what the interface is for a certain Ethernet. But because I don't have everything configured, it's not going to show me anything. There's another one that's called show IP interface G1. Okay, show IP interface G1. It's because I have everything administrated down and line protocol is down. What this gives you is the If it's up, of course, it's going to say is up. Line protocol is up. Internet address is, and then it's going to give you the 192.168.16.1/25. Broadcast address is 255.255.255.255. Address determined by set of command. MTU is 1500 bytes. Helper address is not set. Directed broadcast forward is disabled. Ongoing access list is not set. Inbound access list is permitted with FTP. So that is the difference when you actually have everything set up with your IP addresses and everything like that. I don't have the IP addresses set up, but those are certain things that you guys should be able to configure to, so that way when you are trying to figure out what's going on with a certain IP Ethernet or IP address, you show these command lines to diagnose if everything's connected right and what you're using. And to create the access list and IPv6 is pretty much this, almost the same thing. For example, let's go with an example here. Configure terminal IPv6 access list. Oh, I put 5. Okay, what it wanted me to do on this one was to block a certain one, but I don't have names on them and stuff like that. So I'm gonna see I can do block CSR 100V-0. Gonna give you guys an example, and then deny any host, and of course because it's using the you know what, it didn't even give me the IPv6 ACL configuration mode. Yeah, oh, yeah, it is. It's giving it to me right here. So it's giving me the IPv6 and ACL mode. Deny any host. And then of course you have to do it with using the, instead of the IP address of v4, you gotta do with the v6, which is crazy. I'm not sure if it is case sensitive, but you guys seem to understand where I'm going through this, I hope. Deny any host. I'm thinking because I don't have anything set up, right? It's gonna give me an incomplete command because I don't have anything with that IPv6 on my demo. So it's pretty much the same thing as the IPv4. On the v6. So I'm not gonna really go too much into detail on that, on what it's giving me for the practice lab, because it's the same thing. So that way I don't have to make this any longer. It's the same thing, guys. It's if you're doing the IP address with the 192.168, or you're doing it with the V6 address, which is the, you know, with the numbers and stuff like that and letters, same thing. So I'm not gonna go pretty much into detail because I'm already at about 35 minutes. I don't want to make this too long. For the test for week 4, you will need to go. I know they say it's not recommended to do the access and deny, but it is on the test to complete week 4 of the for week 4. Hold on, guys. For the CYB 220, you really have to do it for you to understand what you're gonna do on the internet, on my bad, on the quiz. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I'm learning a lot, and I hope you guys are learning as well. Matter of fact, I was showing my wife and daughter the other day, and they were just looking at me like, what? So, remember, guys, hacking is illegal. I'm not encouraging it. Remember, follow your laws and copyright. If you guys learned something, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, you know, I wish I could tell you to let me know in the comments. See if I can go a little bit more and in detail. If you guys like all my videos, please subscribe, and thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.